Nebraska wins at Maryland 34-31. A huge comeback victory for Nebraska. Heartbreaking loss in the fourth quarter again for Maryland. Let's start with Nebraska here, Zach. This is not Scott Frost's Nebraska team anymore.
Mm-hmm.
This is a team that wins close games. This is a team that is confident, is bold, and does what it takes. I gave Dylan Raiola a B plus, or was it a B plus or an A minus? One of those two for this game. He had 3 interceptions, but he also had 4 touchdown passes. He also had a game-winning drive in the fourth quarter. When was the last time that happened for Nebraska?
Yeah.
It's not
And,
often.
and,
Like,
and this Maryland team is good.
yes,
Like I know people will be like, you hate Locksley. Not this year. This team's good. Like that's why I said like Maryland's not going to be an easy out for Illinois. Maryland's they their raw skill is very good. And so where would you have Nebraska on the panic level then?
I have them at a 2 because I do think that Nebraska expects to get to the playoffs this season. I don't know if they expected it going into the season, but I think you look at the schedule the rest of the way and you see a likely playoff opportunity here. At Minnesota, Northwestern, home against USC, at UCLA, at Penn State, and Iowa. That has the makings of a playoff scenario here. You
Yep.
only lose one of those games if it's USC or Iowa. I think you're good. But you
Yeah.
do have at UCLA, and who knows? We'll see what
At Penn
happens with Penn
State.
State. Maybe they
Yeah.
actually start finding themselves. This is still a team with talent on it at Penn
Yeah.
State. So
Yeah.
um, I think you're concerned because yes, you won the game and it turned things around, but at the same time, you're also saying we should have never been down by 10 points in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
Right? Too many turnovers, too many things
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. I am at a 3 with Nebraska. 1 for every interception that Raiola threw.
Well, you got to
And
subtract those with the touchdown passes he threw.
well,
Zach.
and
I'm
I
just messing with
I
you.
will say though, when Raiola is good, he is really good. Like you see why he was a 5-star prospect. The one touchdown in the quarter of the end zone, I think it was in the second quarter, where he just zipped it over a defender. Very tight window throw. I mean, you see the talent. But my concern with him is in these bigger games, is he going to get looser with the football? Because as great as it was for him to go down the field and win a game, I think that's really good. I'm also very concerned that that's going to bite them in future games, including like at Penn State. Who knows what's going to happen with at Penn State? Maybe they completely collapse, or maybe Terry Smith rights the ship a little bit. But sorry, I just saw Gover Insights comment and I
That was a
started
really
to
funny
laugh.
comment. Well, and I think you also feel better too because of Emmitt Johnson. You
That's
had Dylan
true. That's a
Raiola
good
throw
point.
3 interceptions, and that was another reason why I don't have as much panic for Nebraska because Emmitt Johnson did really well in this game, and this is a Maryland defense that has been good at defense this season. So this was not a fluke. You're like, I guess you could say it was a fluke because they've been so good, but I don't think this is a fluke. I think this is here to
Yeah.
stay for
Yep.
Nebraska because you did this against an actual good defense.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think
Yeah.
that's fair.
So, all right. You want to guess what the odds are for Nebraska to make the playoffs?
Uh
Sixth best in the Big Ten on
Sixth
FanDuel.
best. Okay. Sixth best. I think that's fair.
Yeah,
Where's Washington in that?
one spot above them. So
Okay, so they're
Nebraska is
fifth.
plus 920. Washington is plus 630. Fifth best.
And is USC fourth?
Yes,
Okay.
plus 360.
Okay.
Ohio State currently is the favorite. They don't
Yep,
even
that's
have
close.
odds to make the playoffs. They just have odds not to make the playoffs. So you know
Oof.
that's a good thing. Oregon is minus 250, and Indiana is minus 2,000.
Hmm.
So they're teetering on the Ohio State situation there with not even having odds.
Yeah,
Congratulations,
that.
Indiana.
Oh man. Um. Yeah. Where are you on Maryland?
Panic level 3. And part
Yeah,
of the
that's
reason
where I'm
why it's
at
not a
too.
4 is because how much youth is on this team.
Yeah.
moving forward. And I think as long as you keep this youth, as long as you keep Malik Washington, Zahir Mathis, Sidney Stewart, Messiah Delhomme, these guys that are playing well right now, I think you feel good about the future. Mike Locksley had a quote after this game, and I want to get your take on if you agree with it or not. He says, "We'll continue to coach the crap out of this team. I know you guys are going to write what you got to write, but nobody can watch what we did today and feel like it's the same old Maryland because I don't see it." Thoughts?
I
Nobody can say
agree.
this is the same old Maryland. You
I
agree?
agree.
Nick, tell us.
Well, and so Philip he's begging for a Fire Locksley segment.
Well, and
And
this was the
I'm
one I was
not,
referring to earlier that said that a team is 4-2 and has their fans wanting to fire their coach. This is the one. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah. I think people, you've lost to 2 straight good top 25 teams. So, like, understand that. You were in both of them till the end. And, like, you're not getting depleted by these teams, right? Like, we've seen Maryland with Talia Tagovailoa where they get depleted by Northwestern. And you're like, what are you doing? This is not that. They've got youth at quarterback. They have youth on the line. They lost a lot of talent in the portal. And like, you have to understand there's going to be inconsistency. So, like, I am not there right now with Locksley. I think he's doing a really good job. This was not unexpected. And, like, listen, Maryland's probably going to lose next week to UCLA. Not probably. There's a decent shot they will lose to UCLA next week. I don't care. Because I think the thing about what's going on right now at Maryland is they're trying to build a solid foundation. And I think Locksley has shifted a little bit in how he's coaching. So I agree with it right now. Now, if they utterly collapse and they go 4-8, then we can talk about restarting the Fire Locksley segment. But I'm not there right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this definitely does look like a different team than what we've seen out of Maryland before, right? Maryland before, they would kind of get up for the big games and play well, but ultimately wouldn't pull it out. And then they'd go back and play teams like Washington and Nebraska and just completely get thumped, right? That's not what's happening right now. They played very well against Wisconsin, albeit Wisconsin, but this was before Wisconsin quit. Wisconsin was still trying at that time, and they thumped them. They did a great job in that game. And then, yes, they lost. They lost in the fourth quarter, definitely, to Washington and Nebraska. But, I mean, how many times has Maryland been going into the fourth quarter with the lead? So
Yep.
I completely agree with what you're saying. It's frustrating. I get why the fans are frustrated, but at the same time, I'm saying this shows improvement. So I am at a panic level 3 because I do think you needed one of these 2 games to ensure a bowl bid, right? I would just remind all the Maryland fans, think back to what your expectations were at the beginning of the season. Their expectations at the beginning of the season was to win 4 games. You started 4-0. You have the opportunity now to make a bowl. You could still possibly win 7 games. It's still possible.
I had them at 3-9.
Yeah, neither of us were high on them.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know you're saying they won't beat UCLA. I
didn't say they aren't, but I think there's a good chance.
Okay, so you're saying there's a good chance that UCLA wins that game. I agree. I'm probably going to pick UCLA to win that, but I don't think it's not close. I think Maryland still stands a good chance in that game. And then you have at Rutgers and Michigan State on the schedule as well. You win those games, you win 7 games, and that's a really good season for Maryland with all the youth they had coming into the year.
Yep.
So
I agree.
it's possible.
I agree.